Seconded. Okay. All in favor of starting the meeting? Go and hit the yes tab on participants.
If you're not SGA, please don't vote. Thanks, Suba.
Okay. I think that's majority.
Majority.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're in our 6th SGA meeting. The first thing we're gonna do is executive board and SGA branch reports. So we're gonna start with Sam. So Sam, you can go ahead.
All right, I'm not muted anymore. So welcome everybody to our 6th meeting of the year. I'm excited for that we have spectators still. Just to give you all a brief overview on what I've did. In terms of kind of like my conversations with conduct, I followed up on a kind of like the plan that I proposed for internal affairs to pre-approve honor board nominees. And basically, I gave them sort of a brief skeleton, and that's being run by their board of directors. So hopefully they're interested and would like to continue to dialogue, and then we can move forward from there, which is really exciting. It was one of my original goals, and hopefully it'll get done pretty soon. Another thing, I did some more work on the website along with Brianna. The goal is to have that up by Friday. No further action is required from any committee chairs or class presidents unless we reach out to you specifically. So unless you hear from us, just don't worry about it. We'll handle it from here. This is a reminder to committee co-chairs to either waive the cooperation plan requirement laid out in the bylaws or fulfill it by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on September 30th. As I said in the email that you all got, if you don't fulfill the plan, the bylaws mandate that both co-chairs will automatically be removed from their chairmanships if that requirement isn't fulfilled. So please do that, because we don't want you to be automatically removed, and you presumably would not like to be automatically removed either. Beyond that, I had another student advisory committee meeting. We discussed outreach plans around a student compact, which we'll all be talking about later. Survey testing, epidemiological survey testing, the COVID dashboard, and more. Feel free to reach out if you have any specific questions. Other than that, I am enjoying my reintroduction to the first fall Hell Week after not actually having been here in the fall since sophomore year. So that's fun. I also signed off on the time off to vote letter that we discussed last week. So we're all set on that. And lastly, I helped out a little bit with IA, with internal affairs, writing in their writing of consistent rules for caucuses, since those don't currently exist. And Will could probably cover that more.
All right, thank you, Sam. Next, I guess are my updates. So after I had a meeting with SGA exec, we're probably gonna have our next retreat October 10th or 11th. So let me know if you already know that you're gonna have conflicts that weekend. And let me know if that's like a good weekend to have it. Like if you guys have like Hell Week or anything, we can think about moving it, but like that's only if you get like a lot of people saying that it doesn't work for them. Other than that, just been dealing with like internal SGA matters. So if anyone ever has like any conflict or something, always like bring that up with me and I can like help resolve it within like SGA. And for the cooperation plan, please let me know. And once you do let me know, send me your doc, like your cooperation plan, and I'm gonna put it in like underneath the folder that has like committees. There's going to be like a document that says like if you've waived it or not, and what the link is to your document. So you can just put the link to your document in like that page. I made like a chart, so you can just put it in there. You can send it to me. So whatever you guys want to do. And that's it for me. So next we're going to have SGA, the treasurer. So that's Addie.
Hello. Okay, so first, we are going to be reviewing the appointments for SAC tonight, which is really exciting. So more on that in the process later. And then also just like updates that I have. So groups are now able to put in funding and purchase requests through like the new Hopkins groups. So we started reviewing those today, and we're still trying to figure out like, you know, the new system and like how it all works, and like with the website and everything. And so thank you to everyone for your patience and like working with us. And now that we have commissioners ready and like to be confirmed tonight, SAC and finance will be able to work a lot better and like kind of, you know, get the ball rolling. So we're asking groups to also put in requests 21 days in advance of like their event, because 14 days is like the standard procedure from the past, and the extra week is for like SAC and finance, so that we can like review all the requests that have come in the week before. So 21 days to make sure that you can get all your stuff on time. And yeah, we're going to be meeting once a week to go over all of those. We're available at the SAC email, which I'll put in here, and also the finance email. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Addie. Next we have Executive Secretary Brianna.
Alrighty, so basically all I've been doing is working on the website. I've also tried to schedule bi-weekly meetings for CMC, but we're having some difficulty with time zone and that kind of thing. Still working on that. But with the website, the goal was to have it done by Sunday, but Sam and I ended up meeting this weekend and reviewing everything and deciding that we needed to include more information, and it wasn't as transparent as we wanted it to be. It wasn't as accessible. So we're still working on that. If you guys want to check it out, mess around, if you have any tips for making it look like aesthetically better, please let us know, or information that should be included. You'll get an email from me, Sam, or the SGA email whenever the website does go up, officially and is live. But other than that, those are really the things that I've been doing. That's all for me.
Thanks, Brianna. Okay, so now we're going to move into class council reports. So we'll start with seniors. So Will Cho.
Yep, senior class council just met today actually for our weekly meeting. We just discussed some social media goals for doing Instagram spotlights. And we're still just hoping, crossing our fingers for budget information for online programming to motivate class unity that's motivated by crisis. So that's it for us. Thank you. Oh, and our website's up, so hooray.
Thanks, Will. Next we have juniors, so Nathan.
Yeah, hi everyone. Nothing much to report. Sent an email out yesterday, just kind of with some updates. We're going to be doing our first event on Sunday, which is a virtual smash room in Minecraft, which I'm actually like really pumped for, where we can take out all our COVID anger on a very intricately made Minecraft world. So we'll see how that goes, and if anyone's interested, I'll come prepared with updates next week. You can hit me up before or after a meeting.
Thanks, Nathan. Okay. Next we have the sophomores, so Anthony.
Hey guys, sophomores met Sunday. We talked about social media stuff and also like more brainstorming as far as virtual programming. Also met with Calvin on Monday, so that was good. We talked budget stuff, but besides that, nothing else to report.
Thanks, Anthony. Next we are going to go into committee reports. So academic affairs, Senator Chanda and Senator Zhang.
Hi, everyone. So there are two things that academic affairs is going to be working on this week. First is the curriculum committee meetings tomorrow. We'll be going over some syllabi for some courses. And then second, we're going to be meeting with the deputy registrar on Thursday to go over course syllabi and SIS. So if you have any questions about that or any input, then let us know and we can talk after the meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, Vida. Next we have civic engagements, so Senator Wang and Senator Lee.
Hi, I don't think Kita is here today, but today is National Voter Registration Day, so you should all have registered. If you are eligible, please DM me if you have not and have problems. And so we've been collaborating with Hopkins Votes. They put out a lot of very important information out. Talia has been resharing a lot of that information onto our social media. And we've also been working with them to establish an ambassadors program. Talked to a couple people about this. It's essentially, it's a bunch of student organizations who have committed to 100% of eligible voter registration and voting. And we were going to offer them an incentive. Apparently cash incentives fall into more of the illegal zone. So we'll be reworking some of that wording and some of those goals and those sort of incentives, but that program is still very much in the works, and we should be publishing that after next GBM.
Awesome. Thanks, Grace. Next we have Finance Committee. So Senator, huh? Okay, yeah. I think I did better, right? I think.
Yeah, you're good. Hi, everyone. So Finance Committee has been working on doing some recommended SAC guidelines, which are basically our recommendations for groups to for like the maximum amount they should spend in the fall so that they still have enough money for spring programming. And now that we just got, or we will be appointing new SAC commissioners tonight, they can finally be reviewed by SAC. And we also started looking at funding requests this morning. So that's good. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thanks, Karen. All right, next we have Health, Safety, and Sustainability. So Senator Chen and Senator Tai.
Hi guys. Pretty sure JJ is on call. But basically my part is that last week we started reaching out to student orgs, like the relevant ones such as A Place to Talk, to see if they're still in operation this fall semester. And basically it's like, for example, APTT has Zoom hours that people might not know about, and we want to see if they're still active on campus. JJ?
Hi, I was kicked out of the meeting, so I have no idea what Megan just said.
Oh, I just said my part that we texted about.
Huh?
I just talked about reaching out to student orgs.
Oh, okay. And another thing that HSS is in the process of is that a student, Marisa, reached out to me in representation of the Maryland Student Climate Action Coalition, and they are reaching out to a bunch of universities for basically student orgs to sign a letter of support. And Marisa and some co-coordinators of MSCAC will come to the weekly committee meeting to do a presentation, and we will go from there.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
Oh, and also the HSS Instagram is posting stuff, so check it out.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
Thanks, JJ. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before. All right, next we have Internal Affairs. This is President Cho.
Yep, so Internal Affairs is trying to restructure guidelines / rules for caucuses in general. We met this past weekend and voiced a lot of concerns for people who were in caucuses, like chairs and like non-chairs / like non-SGA members. And right now, me and Sam and the rest of the committee are in process of drafting it. So hopefully by our next GBM, we will be able to present that and hopefully get the caucuses in order before the freshmen, or like right around when the new freshmen are confirmed and brought to office. So stay tuned for that. Thanks all.
Yeah. All right. Next we have student orgs. So Senator Kalahasti and Senator Chen.
Hey everyone, I can start. So we are working on building out some infrastructure ahead of sending out liaison pairings early next week. For any of the senators in here who have not joined the Slack, please do so ASAP so we can send those pairings out. We're also going to start voting on re-reg probably tomorrow, ? If we can settle our meeting time. So that will probably be a pretty big chunk of our meetings for the next couple of weeks as we move through that.
And to add on to what Ananya said, we're also continuing with liaison pairing. So right now we're going to be working on putting it together a doc for basically who to ask if you don't know the answer to a question, basically like a chain of command per se. And also we're continuing to coordinate with SLI on our student guides. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys. Next we have Student Services with President Singleton.
All right, so student services, we met Sunday. It was a pretty good meeting, but just to let you know, if you're in student services, we'll also be having like an update meeting about half an hour after this meeting closes. So if you weren't able to make it to the first one, please come to that one. Also, Grace and I got a response back today actually in regards to like the testimonials about like the belongings and everything. And it seems like it's good news, but we're going to be meeting later this week to kind of get more details. So there'll be an update on that next GBM. That's about it.
Cool. Thank you, Anthony. We're going to move into caucus reports. So the first caucus we have is the Black Caucus, and we're going to ask Senator Oni Anya. Tell me if I'm saying that wrong.
Yeah, it's Oninania. But yeah, nothing to report as of yet. I do know that BSU, ASA, and some other orgs are supposed to be meeting next week, so we're probably going to try to wait till after that to meet and know where to go from there.
Cool. Thank you so much. Next we have the Hispanic or Latinx caucus. So Executive Secretary Soldatelli.
She's away right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
We'll move on to Women and Gender Minorities Caucus. So Senator Zand.
Yeah, so we met with Internal Affairs over the weekend to work on that bill about standardizing caucus guidelines. We have our first GBM, I think this Saturday, sorry, September 26th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you would like to attend, just DM me here on Zoom or like on Slack or Facebook, and I can give you the link. And then lastly, we've been working with OIE to sort of amend the website that we discussed at previous GBMs, and that's it. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Next we have our advisor reports. So Carolyn and Calvin.
Hey everybody. So I have just a couple things. Re-registration closes next Wednesday at 11:59, so September 30th. This is the first year that we've done re-registration during not the first year, but the first year in recent times that re-registration has happened in the fall. Please encourage groups that you're a part of, if they haven't already done it, to complete re-registration before the deadline. We also have a virtual leadership series for student leaders. So we recognize that leadership looks a little bit different in a virtual space. We have 2 more trainings coming up this October. One is about building relationships in a virtual world, and the other one is about marketing. So we encourage you to go to those. There was one other thing that's not coming to me at the moment. So we launched the student leader newsletter. It's called Word on the Street. And it goes out to all students, undergraduate students. Our hope is that we can encourage those students who might not be fully involved in any capacity right now to really see opportunities that exist on campus through our newsletter. So we highlight things through the Student Leadership and Involvement Office, Fraternity and Sorority Life, Life Design Lab, and then any other campus events that are sort of worthy of sharing. That newsletter goes out every 2 weeks. This week and last week are back to back because last week we should have sent it the week before, but we missed that timeline. So the next one it'll come out on Tuesdays, hopefully mid-afternoon. And then the next one will be October 6th, if that's a Tuesday. So it'll be 2 weeks from today that the next one will come out, and hopefully that'll reduce the amount of communication that comes from SLI to student groups, but it'll still have very relevant information for them in that space. So yeah, thanks.
Hi, and I have 2 things to share. First is I just want to reiterate, and Karen, he actually put it in the chat that the funding request and purchase request process has started. And so in SLI, we are ready to support students who have purchase requests. The details are outlined in the communication that we sent to SGA officers on Friday, and then I sent a follow-up message today. And then the second thing, and while I was not able to share this publicly a couple of weeks ago, where I was able to send out a message Friday night, with regard to our the student life and the Dean of Student Life and her leadership in eliminating all debt for student organizations that reside within student life. So that is SGA organizations, programming boards, all numbers of organizations will enter this academic year and will have no debt to the university. So that was a plan that we put into place about a year or so ago. Even despite the pandemic, it has come to fruition. So in my last official regular meeting with you all as your SGA advisor, I am happy to share with you that our student org leaders will not have the stress of having any additional debt carried over from previous years. SGA organization or in the Dean of Student Life office, their budgets and all their transactions for FY20 have been uploaded. So if there are any issues with regard to transactions that they may see that they think are incorrect, please do not hesitate to contact us. But all that information is there, budgets are there, opening balances are there, and so we are ready to engage in the process, whatever that process may be, and whatever this next couple of weeks, this next academic year holds for us. So that's my report.
Thanks, Calvin. So with that amazing news, I guess we're going to move into new business. The first thing we have on the agenda is the SAC officer confirmation. And so the executive treasurer is going to present that. And Addie, I can pull it up on my screen and share it. So
great. So while Mahek's doing that, I'll go over the process a little bit about like how we went about choosing our candidates for tonight. So, and I'm talking about the current SAC commissioners and Karen, who is chair of finance. So we sent out an application and we had 16 people apply, and we ended up doing 14 interviews. And so by reviewing both the original applications and the notes from interviews, we deliberated and we chose these 6 people who I'm going to introduce to you now. So whenever I get to your slide and introduce y'all, could you please turn on your cameras so everyone can kind of wave and say hi? So I'm gonna get started, and please correct me if I mispronounce your name. I will apologize in advance. Oh, I forgot I can't hit that. Yeah, thank you. So our first candidate is Estelle Young, class of 2024, interested in majoring in public health. And a fun fact is that Estelle speaks French. So hello, Estelle. Our second candidate is Jeremy Gu, class of 2024 as well, and majoring in neuroscience. And Jeremy just picked up the ukulele this year and bought one that's in the shape of a pineapple. Sam. Our next candidate is Mia Gran, class of 2023, majoring in Chem BE, and Mia has a dog named Matilda. And our next is Jillian Go, class of 2022. Oh, oops, sorry. Majoring in mole cell, and I didn't know if the E was there or not, so I apologize. And fun fact is that Jillian has performed at the Walt Disney Concert Hall twice, which is pretty cool. And then our next is Sujay, sorry, I thought that was a chat. Jaipali, which is he's class of 2023, majoring in BME, and Sujay can play the violin. And then our last candidate is Nandit Gurtu, class of 2022, majoring in AMS. And Nandit can fall asleep with his eyes open. And then this is for our decision today.
okay, cool. Thanks for putting that together, Addie. Okay, so anyone can motion for like a Q&A or a moderator caucus or to move into voting procedures. So, you know, just some suggestions.
Yeah, point of information, how do you sleep with your eyes open? Sorry. Sorry.
It's kind of scary, not gonna lie.
I'm just like so shook by that. Okay, motion to vote on the commissioners.
Give me a second. Okay. All in favor of moving into voting procedure, please hit the, or can we vote for all at once or one by one? I think we can vote for all of them at once because that's what we
can vote for them all at once.
We can?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we did that for PRDC, so I'm assuming. Okay, so all in favor of moving into voting procedure, please go to the participants tab and hit the check mark. So clarification, you're not voting on them yet. You're voting to move into voting procedure right now.
Reminder, if you are not SGA, please put an asterisk in front of your name. It'll like distinguish you from the other people. Will, please vote. None of these people are in SGA.
I'll put the asterisks in front of their name if they're not.
Oh, look at you. Chinette, please vote. If you can't vote, please private message me. Suba, if you're here, you can just verbally say it or private message me.
I vote yes.
Thank you. All right, everybody's voted but Chinette and Will at this point. Will, are you okay? I'm going to take that as a no.
Okay, well,
so sorry, my mouse isn't working. It disconnected.
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. Well, you voted now, so we're good.
All right, so now we are in voting procedure. So all in favor of confirming all the appointed SAC or the talked about SAC commissioners that Addie just pulled up, please go to the participants tab and hit the yes check mark button.
Vote yes.
I think that was Suba. Okay.
Chinette, please vote. Angela, please vote.
Oh, Suba, you're okay. Like if you can't, we know you're driving.
Everyone has voted except for Chinette, so we're good to move on.
All right, so congratulations to all the SAC appointees. You guys have now been confirmed and now you're on SAC, so
Congratulations. Can't wait to work with you all.
Okay, so the next thing we have on our agenda is the CUE2 resolution, and President Mudrak's going to present that. So let me pull that up. And Nathan, you can you got 5 minutes to introduce it and talk about it and everything.
Sure. Okay, so I'll be quick, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to motion for whatever you want. For people who don't know, the Q2 report was a really large initiative that kind of just got wrapped up last year, and with the draft, and I think they're still working on the final report. Things have kind of gotten placed on hold because of COVID. But every decade or so, roughly speaking, the university forms a committee to kind of reassess how undergraduate education looks on campus. And so they just did this for the second time with Q2. And people have probably heard some of the recommendations, but it's things like a Hopkins semester for like independent work, study abroad, stuff like that. Getting rid of the curve, which personally, I really vibe with that one. And then the one that's relevant to this resolution is the recommendation for required first-year seminars. And so what they want is they want to have first-year seminars that have like different topics, just like they exist now, just expanded so that all freshmen have the opportunity to take a first-year seminar, and then to also revolve them around a common theme. So something like right now they have like common question where they try to integrate from all these different disciplines and they try to answer a question. And so when we were talking, this actually was a conversation that started last.
Hi, Sarah.
Okay. So when we were talking, we were kind of like within committees like last year and just kind of throwing things around. Okay, that's not we talked about whether this like theme that's recommended by the Q2 committee could be something that has to do with the city of Baltimore, because I know that there's a pretty strong sentiment generally that our education about like the affairs of the city, generally speaking, is lacking. And so trying to integrate that a little bit more into how we welcome freshmen to our campus. This is not anything big, you know, it's something like, you know, if you have a seminar on tuberculosis, like, which is one I mentioned in the resolution, talk a little bit about how tuberculosis has like particularly affected some of Baltimore's immigrant populations for a class or half a class, or just try to make sure that there's some local relevance at some point in a course. And then have that common thread where people can talk and come from different perspectives because they each know something unique about the city that we're spending the next 4 years in. So yeah, I welcome any questions, Mari Caucus, anything like that. I also welcome voting. But just to be clear, we're not voting on whether first year seminars can be required. I know this kind of gets a little complicated. This is assuming the report is finalized in the way it is, the way that the resolution's worded, and the recommendation for a common theme holds. We're saying if all that holds, the common theme should be something related to the city of Baltimore. And then there's also some language about just generally talking more about the city and like more of the activities that we do. But in regards to first year seminars, we're not talking about requiring first year seminars. We're not talking about this or that. We're just saying if all those things happen, we recommend theming around the city of Baltimore. So yeah, that's basically it.
All right, so thanks, Nathan. I actually really like the Q2 report. So you guys can like motion to move into voting procedure on the resolution. And it's a resolution, so it's not like putting anything to like effect. It's like we will send it to administration if like people vote yes on it. And we can also motion for moderator caucus or a Q&A to get more information from Nathan if you guys are confused about things. So floor is open. So anyone can motion.
Motion to move into voting procedure.
Seconded.
Seconded. All right, all in favor of moving to voting procedure, please go hit the yes on the participants tab.
I vote.
Thanks, JJ. I don't know if that was you, I'm confused.
She voted.
Okay.
Alrighty. Angela, please vote. Janet, please vote. Eric, please vote. Oh, Eric's here. Cool. Talal, please vote. Suba, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Alrighty, again, Talal, Eric, Chinette, please vote. Oh, we have so many spectators today. Our public input section better be popping off. Okay, I still don't have votes from Talal or Chinette. Thank you, Eric. Oh, so there we go. Talal got his. Chinette, you can private message me.
All right, so we are now moving into voting procedure. All in favor of passing the resolution, please go hit the yes on the participants tab.
I vote.
Okay.
Is anyone else just hearing I vote and then not?
Yeah, it's just I vote. Not what they vote. Not what you vote. It's just I vote.
Wait, you can't hear my yes?
No, it's just I
You
vote
can't
and
hear
then it
my
cuts
yes?
out. It just cuts out every time.
Oh, sorry. I'm also wearing a mask. I'm really going through it.
Safety, I respect it.
Yes, we appreciate that.
Thank you guys.
All right, did everyone vote?
We're missing JJ. Oh, that is not a SGA person. China, we're still missing. So right now it's just JJ and China. Oh, never mind. We're good then.
All right, awesome. Congratulations, Nathan. Your Q2 resolution passes. Yeah, just get in contact with Sam and me afterwards, and we'll see who you want to send it to, like the deans and everything. Yeah, congratulations. All right. So the next thing we have is the SAC coronavirus info discussion. So that's not SAC. So it's like the student advisory committee, and it's going to be headed by Executive President Mullen. So Sam, you can just get started. Like 5 minutes present.
So I'm going to share my screen, which I believe I have permission to do. This is exciting. So I'll basically run you all through this. Did not actually have this up. Love technical difficulties. So if you all hadn't seen this earlier, either through the link in the agenda or anything else, basically what this is that the Student Advisory Committee is the committee that met over the summer and is still meeting now to assist the administration with kind of like different aspects of COVID-related planning. So what we did as part of our role is we worked with the Homewood Student Affairs Office to essentially develop a compact. And this compact, it's not mandatory. It's not anything that people have to do. But the idea is that it's a promise to, it's kind of a way to mark to that you're promising to your fellow students that you're going to do everything that you need to do in your role as a citizen and as a member of this institution to basically, you know, like keep everybody safe. You kind of like have sort of the reasoning here, like, you know, it's difficult, but it's something we have to do. And here are kind of like different things that you're pledging to do when you sign on to this compact. And kind of for background, like this is something that's completely created by students across all 9 academic divisions for students. So essentially you can kind of see like it has things like not sort of, you know, like stereotyping based on race or ethnicity or anything else when kind of like taking public health measures, basically committing to monitor your own public health symptoms, wear face coverings, basically following all the measures you should be following to do your part in fighting the pandemic. So the reason that I'm sharing this all with you today is not necessarily to vote on it, although if we would like to pass a resolution at some point in the future endorsing this, we can, but basically to ask for all of your help in making and to be able to brainstorm collectively about how we can share this with our fellow students to make sure that they know about this and that they sign on to it, because obviously what good is a compact if people don't sign on to it? And the idea is to essentially have this be a grassroots sort of thing. Homewood, we all talked about it, and we think that it would be more effective rather than us just sending an email to everybody and kind of having it be a top-down thing, that we all work collectively to use our networks as student leaders to really distribute this among students. So it's kind of just something that where people really get that it's meant to be from students for students to help us all commit to each other to take the public health measures we need to protect all of our lives. So basically, I was thinking that we could do a Q&A or a moderated caucus or something to essentially just talk about different ways that we might all be able to work together to share this with everybody. So yeah, thanks.
All right. Could I get any motions for anything? I can suggest like maybe a 6-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking times. Yeah, or a 5-minute, if anyone wants to motion that.
Motion for a 5-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking times.
Seconded.
Awesome. All in favor of a 5-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking times, please go to the participants tab and hit the yes. Awesome. Okay, so we are now in a 5-minute moderated caucus with 30-second speaking times. All right, so who motioned that? Was that Julia?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, Julia, since you motioned for it, you're first on the speakers list, and then we have Brianna. And if anyone else wants to be added, just go to the participants tab and raise your hand, or you can private message me that you want to be added.
Okay, so one, I guess, concern that I have, I don't necessarily have a solution for this, but if someone's not necessarily very active on social media, like would they still be able to, I guess, receive the same effects of this our grassroots spreading of this compact. That's just a concern that I have.
Do you want to yield your time to Sam?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, so it doesn't necessarily have to be over social media. That's part of why I was hoping we could talk about it, because kind of like as student leaders, we're able to utilize our position in ways other than social media. Like maybe like all of us were involved in student organizations outside of SGA. So we could say, for example, like send a message in group chats that we're involved in to basically ask people like, hey, can you sign this? It's really important. We're working to make sure that we're all keeping each other safe. So we can move beyond social media. I mean, I'd love to hear ways people can think of to move beyond social media. So yeah, thanks for your question.
All right. Next we have Brianna.
So I know we just said that we were going to move beyond social media, but my first idea was like, if any of you have seen the JHU Counseling Center bingo thing that they have going around, I've seen that on like a million people's stories, and I've been tagged in it a few times. So if we did something like that, where you like post a picture of your signature, post like a picture of the compact, or something like that, like a screenshot, and you tag somebody else, and just like, yo, sign this if you're a good person, and tag some other people if you're a really good person. That's a joke, but like something like that, just to spread it, because the Instagram story thing seems to be working pretty well. That's basically the only idea I have. If anybody has more, feel free to raise your hand and join the speakers list.
Thanks, Brianna. All right, I don't think anyone else has raised their hand, so okay, Megan, go ahead.
This is something recent that I heard about or / joined is on Facebook. There's some sort of Zoom, like again, like Hopkins Students Unite Against COVID or something, where we're all going to be testing each week or something along those lines. So maybe we could send it out on that Facebook group. And also there's that COVID testing sign up per se, where you get tested twice a week, self-swab, and then like do like that. And so maybe we could reach out to those people, the admin there, and see if they're interested in spreading this.
I think that's a great idea. Anyone else? I can go next. I feel like one thing maybe we could do like on the SGA like Instagram or something, maybe we could have like a series on like how I stay safe during like COVID. I know that's like social media based, but you know, like since everyone has like different followers and like different people that they follow, if they like tag their own profile or like use their personal profile to like repost it, it could get like not like the word out there, but like you could just like go through like the list or like the kind of letter and like show how you kind of follow it and like what things you do to like prevent the spread of COVID. I don't know, like an Instagram type campaign maybe. Anyone else want to be added to the speakers list?
If not, feel free to motion to do something such as closing this. Hint.
Motion to end moderated caucus, makes it a 5 minute 30 second time.
Seconded.
All in favor of ending the moderated caucus, please go to the participants tab and hit the yes button. All right, since you have majority vote, we're gonna end the moderated caucus. And with that, we're gonna move into prospective business. All right, so if anyone has any advancing legislation they want to talk about right now, you can go ahead and put your hand up, or like any legislation you want to, talk about. You can go ahead and do that. I have one thing I want to talk about. We're gonna have like the bylaws, like changes coming up next week, and we'll probably have like the confirmation of the next senators next week. So that's going to be really exciting. So get ready to welcome some new little freshies. Okay, Brianna, you can go ahead.
This is kind of legislation related. I just want to say that I haven't like noticed a lot of new legislation coming in this year, and I don't know if it's because like people don't know how to write it, because I know when I came into SGA, I had no idea how to write legislation at all. If you guys have ideas and you need help writing legislation, please feel free to reach out to me. I like helping write that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure lots of other people will be willing to help too. And I do want to see some more legislation coming out of the senators. If you guys have any ideas and need help making it into like a possible thing that SGA can help with, just reach out. So that's all for me.
All right. Anyone else have any advancing legislation? All right. We're going to move into announcements then. I think Sam had an announcement. If anyone else has any other announcements, please raise your hand and you can just be added to the speakers list.
So I actually have not one, not two, but three separate announcements, so get excited. The first announcement is that Julia has applied as our nominee to the Security Advisory Committee. So snaps to her. Hopefully her application gets accepted. I don't see why it wouldn't. The second thing is that speaking of legislation, we would still love to work with anybody who wants to kind of like take a crack at writing legislation on the idea that we mentioned, I believe, in the last GBM on creating a lottery system where essentially we'd send out an email and people would be able to give us days that they would be able to show up to GBM and they'd enter their names for contention, kind of with the incentive that if they do register for time and they get chosen, then they would receive a gift that we ship to them to kind of like incentivize them to give us their input, since I'm personally, and we as exec are personally interested in kind of expanding the scope and diversity of the opinions we get. We would also collect demographic information from the people who fill out the survey to basically make sure that we're getting we're getting people that represent like every group of people at Hopkins. But that being said, we don't want to write it ourselves. We want one of you to write it, because this is a great way to get experience with legislation. This is a great way to provide for your constituents. So if you're interested, please reach out to me or Mehek, and we could get started on that. And my third announcement is that the Future Fest is happening this weekend. If you are like me and terrified that you're going to be unemployed, if you're younger than me and you just, you want to start getting information about internships or other ways to survive and thrive after Hopkins, I would highly recommend going on Handshake, looking up Life Design Lab and signing up, because it's going to be a great event. It's like 5 days or something. And you can get in touch with our network of recruiters and alumni and great events. So yeah.
Thanks, Sam. Does anyone else have any other announcements they want to make? No? Okay. We're going to move into public input period. So you guys can turn on your cameras if you want. Oh, wait, hold on. All right. Wait, Sam, could you talk a little bit more about your bill for diverse input?
Yeah, sure. Was there a specific question?
Just like some people are curious about like what it kind of entailed, or like more like detail about it.
Well, there's not more detail yet, because we have not started writing legislation yet. So if you're interested, that's something that you can shape. So get in touch with us.
Oh, okay, awesome. All right. Sorry, wait, I misread the message. My bad. Okay. Anyways, now we're gonna move into the public input period. Yeah, so you guys can turn on your cameras if you want now. If you're from the public and you have anything to say, you can just raise your hand and, tell us what's up. I'll like wait 30 seconds to,
We have so many people from the public. Nobody wants to say anything at all.
You're just too intimidating, Brianna.
Scary. Does anybody who's maybe running for SGA want to talk about their platform or ideas that they have? I've noticed a lot of freshmen in here. Don't be scared. Kobe, I can't hear you. There we go. Okay. All right, well, I guess that's time's up then.
All right. Could I get a motion to close meeting if no one from the public wants to say anything?
Motion to adjourn.
Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Oh, awesome. Okay. All in favor of closing the meeting, go ahead. Yes, on the participants tab. All right. I think we have majority. Yep. Awesome. So, bye guys.